Hello everyone, my name is Dylan Hamilton. I'm back here again with another tutorial. This time I've been using Minecraft to build a new level, a murder mystery kind of level if anyone has been following that. Through that I have learned a couple tricks that would have been useful to have known earlier on, but I managed to find out while building my current level. And these are things that range from just some simple hotkeys to console commands and even some redstone contraptions. And I want to show this to a couple of you guys in case you guys are having trouble or don't know about any of these initially. And this will definitely save you a lot of time that it took me to figure these things out. You know, but nonetheless, let's get started. I do want to talk about the some simple hotkeys when it comes to like using creative and just simple like map making. So with this, we're going to build a house and just grab a couple of these, even a door. And this has to do with some stack size. So build this out real quick. Use a door, and then it's nothing too fancy. But so with this, when it comes to like grabbing the stack size, so simply just left clicking will grab you one. But let's say you want like a full stack. So what you can simply do is just press the middle mouse button, and that'll just grab a full stack. And if you bring down to like the hotbar and right click, it'll drop just one of the item down. Or if you left click, it'll drop the entire stack down. You could also do like the same thing. So like, if it's already in your hotbar, you could press the middle mouse and it'll just grab like the whole stack, even if it's already in your hotbar when you're in creative mode. This I have found to be very useful when I need to like duplicate multiple of the same items. So like let's say I need to have multiple different potions of that I have already like renamed to have something. So this is an example that I've already done in my level, and I just want to demonstrate it real quick. So we go to functions, we go to anvil, put this down, and if we rename this to just simply turtle, and let's say I need multiple different types of these potions with the same name, but yet I don't want to just continuously just copy it over and over and over again. What I could do is just middle mouse, do that, and just continuously copy over, and it'll have the same exact name for it. And this will one thing I just did will kind of segue into something. So, like, let's say if you're in creative mode and you want to get rid of an item while on the screen, you can just simply just select that item and right click it on one of these. Alternatively, you could go to the survival inventory box, and there's going to be like this red check mark right here, and you could just quickly grab like a whole stack or an individual left click, and it'll just delete it entirely. It's like we can delete everything right here, get the splash potion, all that. But so going back to our little house right here, after we have like some of these hotkeys done, let's say we worked on this little house for a bit, and then we got sidetracked to a different thing, and we had to get rid of all the materials that we used to build this house. Yeah, we came back, and let's say we accidentally destroyed something, like we destroyed that little corner right there, and immediately what we could do is we could just go back into the building blocks and then just find it right there. It's a different one, but yeah, same thing. So we could just do that, but let's say like it's something that's all the way down here, and you know you go through, you build that a little brick house, and you get rid of it, and right clicking with that item in hand just to get rid of it, and now you need it all over again. So you would then have to like just continuously scroll down, and it could take some time. Well, what you could also do is just simply look at it at a close distance and press the middle mouse button. That will allow it to copy it into your hotbar, and you can just simply continue building with it instead of just looking through the inventory and just saving those extra couple of seconds. I learned that pretty quickly, or not pretty quickly. I learned that pretty late. In fact, right before recording my last update of the Minecraft level, I learned that, and that trick could have saved me so much time with building out the houses and all that. But with that being said, let's start going into some of the console commands. So, while building a map, the weather is not going to stop for anything, and currently I have not found a way to like stop the weather or the daylight cycle in Minecraft's Java edition. So, when you're going through and making the map, you're going to run into, the daylight cycle and the day or nighttime approaching pretty quickly. What you could do is simply just press slash on the keyboard and type out time set, and when it comes to this, you're going to have four different options. You're going to have day, midnight, night, and noon. And if you already have this option right here, you could simply just click on it and it'll bring it to that or that specific one. Press enter, and then it'll turn it to night. I do want to emphasize though that when you're typing this out, time set, and it brings out to this, in order to actually get these results, you need to actually click on them. I want to emphasize that because when I first started doing this, and it would get to this part where it like shows the results and arrow keys to between them, I would press enter, and it wouldn't like save those so it would just keep showing that error message. However, it will do that if you just simply click on it, and that works with any of them. So we set it back to day, and now it's bright, and we can continue working for a little extra longer without being bothered by the darkness. Similarly, you're going to run into like storms and all that. The rain's gonna happen, and it might be a little annoying, or you might be nice, depending on your preference. But if we ever want to change the weather for a level, we can type out weather, and it'll also have like the same or similar options. It'll have clear, rain, and thunder. So this one will just do rain. Press enter, and it'll just start raining. And you can have like a gloomy level, or just simply enjoy a Minecraft rain. Sometimes it can be pleasant, but for this, let's say you're working and the rain could be quite bothersome. All you just have to do is type out weather, clear, and enter. Sweet, and there we go. Now there's another thing we could do that doesn't involve like the actual like daylight cycle or the weather, but let's say it while working, you're going to make some like dark places, and in those dark places are going to start spawning a lot of bats, and it could be quite annoying just to like come back to that place that you came back to that you forgot to light up, and it's just like a bunch of bats just littered around. So for here, we're going to finish up our little house. Gonna come inside, and we're gonna grab a bat spawn. And spawn a couple. So we came back, and there's just a bunch of bats right here. Nope, that one disappeared. Anyways, one thing we could just do is simply just try to kill them as best we can, or we could take the time to just try and look for the potion of harming. There we go. And do that. However, when there is like a wide open space, there's going to be a lot of bats that spawn, and that's going to take quite a while to do. So for this, let's say, we're back here, bats are spawning. What we can do is do the slash, do kill at E, do, what is it, bracket, type out type equals, and this is where we'll input a name, bat, and then close the brackets, press enter, and voila, your bat problem will be solved. And this is very useful when there's like a bunch of entities around you in the vicinity, and you don't want to go through and like just you know throw around, or like throw on the potions or pull out a sword. You can just simply get rid of them and continue on with your work. But after that being said, let's get into some of the redstone contraptions that could be quite useful. Some of the ones I want to focus on for this one, getting rid of those. Let's see. Do the dropper, dispenser, the hopper, and the observer. So, in my level, I was trying to make a contraption that used dispensers. However, the contraption was like very awkward and didn't quite work the way I wanted it to with the amount of space I was trying to build it in. I did find an alternative, though, which basically you made use of the hoppers. And what hoppers do is they basically make like a little conveyor belt system. So, let's say we put one down here, and what hoppers will do is they'll take something. They'll generally take something from an item storage, such as a chest or so, and will transport it across into a different item that it is targeting. So for this one, we'll just put down a chest, and this is going to be the target, or the target chest that the item is going to be transported to. Or do, as we have to make sure that that bottom piece right there is pointing to it. So like with this one, as we can see, the bottom piece is pointing down. That means anything that's down there, or any item storage down there, is going to grab it. But for this one, we'll just continue putting some more. Make sure they're all lined up, and then it'll only work if the item storage is on top of this big opening. Like, let's say we put the chest here. And now, well, just to make sure, there's nothing in this chest over here. And we put a chest, and it disappears. And it comes all the way back down here. So it works right here. It also works if we just simply just drop the item into it, and it'll basically do like a little conveyor belt. It can be at any point. Drop it in there. Just. And honestly, I find that really helpful. Another thing is if you have like a dispenser pull out or distribute one in there. But that also brings us into the next one, which is the difference between a dispenser and a dropper. Now, they look very similar and they sound very similar. However, they both have different purposes. Typically, what you would do is you might go for the dispenser first. And if we pull out a lever, and what dispensers will do is they'll simply dispense out an item. Right here. See? And it just popped out it in a little drop form. However, they don't do that for all items. For stuff such as consumables such as potions. For this, we'll go back to the splash potion that we used earlier. Use it. It's going to actually use the item instead of just dropping it. And this happens with a certain selective few stuff such as throwable potions, arrows, stuff of that nature, even like TNT blocks. It'll just actually use it instead of dropping it as an item. Though, if you want the dispenser to simply just drop that item without using it, that is exactly what a dropper is for. So, let's bring back out a little potion. This one will go back to the Turtle Master and drop it out. If we use it, it will actually just drop out the item instead of just, throwing it. So that's very useful if you want like a little vending machine or something that dispenses an item without throwing it in the player's face and harming them. But if you actually do want like a trap like that, then you're going to want to go for the dispenser and the droppers for dropping an item. But finally, we have the observer. This is initially it's very weird, and looking at it, you're not going to tell what it might do. In fact, it looks very question itself. But what an observer does is it basically observes the block in front of it. So this is the face, and it's going to observe this block. Any changes that happen to that block is going to emit a redstone signal. And we'll see this if we simply lay down some redstone behind it. So anything that happens, like let's say we place a block in front of it, it emits a red, that signal that we saw. Destroy a block, place a block. That's about it. It doesn't work with players actually like walking in front of it. That would be what a tripwire is used for. But for this, it's very helpful for like if you're trying to build like a contraption that you want, like when something is placed down in like a certain area, you want that observer to just witness the change happen and then trigger some kind of action. But these are just a handful of things that I have learned while doing my level, and I just want to point it out there for anyone else that could use these tips and save on time. Don't want to like waste as much time as I have, not doing these. But anyways, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for any updates that come next.